It also comes 1 week before DeSantis is reportedly expected to officially enter the GOP primary. The two-term governor is widely seen as the top challenger to former President Donald Trump, who is well ahead in the polls. Joining us now is former Virginia Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli and former member of the Trump administration and now the founder of the DeSantis PAC. Never back down. Ken, good to have you here. Is the governor jumping in? We keep hearing reports that next week he's filing the paperwork. Is it going to happen?
Boy, I sure hope so. You know, I've never seen anybody do all the things he's doing and not get in. And coming off one of the greatest legislative sessions any chief executive has ever had in any state anywhere, the timing is as perfect as it can be right now, and he's done a great job in Florida. A lot of the principles of freedom and opportunity that he has championed there so successfully will translate very well to what America needs to escape the malaise of Joe Biden.
Ken, you may think that the timing is perfect. Others are a little worried that he's been a little bit late, that he's waited too long, and he's lost valuable momentum against former President Donald Trump. What do you think?
Well, I think he was an excellent congressman for 6 years. Of course, he was junior there, but nobody's excited about him running for president because of his time in Congress. When he won the governorship in 2018, he really began to accelerate policy change in Florida for the better, and we saw the results. COVID, of course, put him on the national map because he went another direction following the science instead of making it up.
But national polls...
And that's what people are excited about.
But people, GOP voters who are polled are showing right now that they prefer former President Trump as their nominee. One recent poll, the Reuters Ipsos poll out Wednesday, Trump was preferred by 49% to DeSantis's 21%. He's trailing. Are you concerned at all?
Well, look, I always run like I'm behind. I did that when I ran for office. It's part of how I won in some tough territory. I fully expect the governor to do that. He won in some tough territory, he won by double digits in Miami-Dade County while helping the Republicans take that school board. I mean, that's the kind of success and winner's track record that he has earned with policy wins. And when he gets to tell that story across the country, I think you're going to see a major turn in his direction, and his brains, his accomplishments, and his abilities are going to very much impress Republican voters who are ready to move on to the future, not be stuck in the past.
Can some people within the Republican Party, within the presidential race, are also questioning the wisdom of Governor DeSantis's feud with Disney? And we just had the announcement today that Disney is going to cancel plans for this billion-dollar project, which would have brought 2,000 high-paying jobs to Florida. Was that a mistake?
So this is a project announced 2 years ago that's been dormant ever since. So this wasn't a loss of jobs. This was a company that's lost $250 million on 2 of its recent woke movies, doesn't have the money to go forward. So,
yeah, but the Republican Party is a party of big business.
So,
you know,
look, no, it sure as hell isn't. It better not be, or we're going to lose. And I'm not arguing with you, but that is a bad place for the GOP to be. And it isn't under Ron DeSantis in Florida, and it won't be nationally with him leading the party. We cannot be the party of big business. We shouldn't be the party of big business. We should be the party of the little guy, just like Ron DeSantis has championed in Florida. That's the winning formula.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.